So, welcome everybody. My name is Mark Jackson, founder of Investor Comps Online. You can call me MJ, and you're here because I've been sharing a ton of content about HUD and doing HUD deals. So, we've developed HUD Deal Training. I just kind of want to walk through some steps with you, but let me do a disclaimer right quick. I do want to say that I'm absolutely positively not perfect. I'm going to make some stumbles and ums and ahs. I'll use some bad grammar. I've got a PowerPoint presentation here, plus I'm going to be going to the web a good bit to kind of guide me through and walk me through this material. But without a doubt, that's it. There's no other disclaimers. We all know that past results are no indication of future activity, but that's just common sense. So we'll leave it at that. But I'm excited to have opportunity to walk through this and really show you the dynamics of this. A lot of ways that you can use HUDs to actually do very, very well in real estate, especially when you know you can get your earnest money back. And that's what we've been putting out there a lot this week. So again, welcome to each and every one of you, and thank you for the opportunity to share information with you. Let's see, let's kick this thing off. All right. Uh, Doing HUDs is the easiest, fastest, quickest way to generate your next check in real estate. And the reason that is you can profit from the current boom in HUD properties. They are all over the country, just piggybacking off of all the foreclosure activity out there. And since 2006, 2007, when they got rid of the what we call non-conforming loans, where you had a first and a second 80-20 loan, and you had a 540 credit score. If you were breathing, you could get a loan. Well, FHA loans, which produce HUD properties, replaced all of that mortgage activity. So now, just because a person is putting down 3% and has a 680 score, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be any more successful getting that mortgage to fruition or get to where they can refinance or sell that house. So HUDs are seeing more for all the foreclosures that were happening in non-conforming loans. Yes, you're right. They're now happening in the FHAs, which is just wonderful as far as we're concerned, because we're going to do a lot of real estate business together as we go through these. And on top of this, one thing that's really cool is that I want to share with you just a really cool step-by-step process so that you can profit off of these properties. Now, recently, a little while ago, I spent some time with a couple of fellow investors and coaches and trainers that actually do real estate. And we asked the question, what made our real estate investing business successful? And basically, we determined that a strategy had to be super simple and require little experience. So I've spent a wealth of time going through and breaking down the concepts of doing HUDs because there are so many benefits to doing them. Okay. My HUD strategy overcomes literally all the objections, all the obstacles that anyone could ever really come up with. If you don't have any money, you're not rich. Okay. I don't have any friends who are rich. How do I buy real estate? He's like, okay, I've never done it before. How do I buy real estate? Or I'm buying real estate, but how can I buy more? Or how do I make money to be a real investor? Literally to get through this. Trust me, HUDs is a way to get through each and every one of these type of objections. The HUD strategy I'm going to show you allows you to buy properties very, very cheap, to have multiple exit strategies. Okay, not just one, but multiple exit strategies. And then again, focus on one simple system that you can rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat, literally. There is some work to do, but HUD properties are easy to do. HUD properties are easy to sell. Oh, you would not believe how easy they are to sell. Literally, buyers will find you, literally, and they'll tell you what they need, what kind of house they want. And buyers will pick up the phone and call you when you set your systems up the right way. Okay? So, buying HUD properties is simple. It's a fast way to make consistent profits quickly, putting thousands of dollars in your pocket over and over again. I'm going to show you that this evening. Before we find out some of the tips to working with HUD properties, let's define what a HUD property is. Let's kind of get down to the basics, okay? A HUD property is one that used to have, what did I say, an FHA mortgage, all right? FHA mortgages basically are where you only have to put down 3%. So if it's a $100,000 house, you only have to put down $3,000 and you mortgage the other $97,000. Works for people that don't have a lot of reserves. Now, why you want to put a mortgage out there for people that don't have a lot of reserves? Well, that's a good question, but we're going to deal with that one, okay? But the homeowner basically, unfortunately, defaults and the house was foreclosed. So the government owns the house. It was insured by FHA mortgage insurance. So the bank will do the mortgage, but it's insured by FHA. So the FHA insurance pays off the bank, and now the government, our U.S. government, or the Department of Housing and Urban Development, has title to the property. Okay. Now, HUD's process for liquidating their inventory of foreclosed homes is a list of homes at or below bank-owned prices. So this is very, very important. Typically, we work or have done business with a lot of REOs and bank-owned properties. And the thing about HUDs is that they're automatically, consistently, always going to list them less than REO. So you're getting even a better discount than you would on an REO property. HUDs have their own brokers who list for them. Okay, so literally they contact specific brokers. They have their own little entities, and they actually work directly from nothing but HUD listings. You have brokers that's the vast majority of business is just listing HUDs. When they first list a house, it's only available to owner occupants, someone that has not owned a home before or wants to live in the house for the first 15 days, not to investors. But after 15 days, it's available to everyone. Okay, anyone can put an offer on. Now, yeah, it's still owner occupants, but this is where the investors get in, and I got some really cool tips to talk to you about and share with you in regards to how some of the pricing changes and how it really lets you know what's happening with your competition out there as well. That's where you come in and start making some real money after that 15 days. Okay. Now, there are distinct advantages. I told you guys I was going to make mistakes. There are distinct advantages to buying HUD homes. All HUD homes are winterized. They're cleaned out, properly secured with lock and key, checked regularly. They have a sign-in sheet inside the house, okay, that the cleaning, the management company comes in, they've inspected. The houses are constantly maintained. And they have their own lock system with multiple keys. In most market areas, there is anywhere between 2 to maybe 5 or 6 keys that are used specifically on HUD homes, okay? So over time, as you're doing properties, you can actually get your own little collection of HUD keys, and you can go to those properties anytime you want, all right? Really, really cool stuff, all right? There's something that's really, really sexy, and I'm telling you, you may have known this, but right now I'm telling you, this is the thing that really makes HUDs, I'm just going to say sexy. There are no deed restrictions. You can do back-to-back closings with your buyer already lined up, okay? Literally, and I'm going to show you, you get these puppies and you turn around and close them the very same day, all right? Now, but to successfully navigate the HUD housing pool and make a profit, you need to know a few secrets, okay? HUD has a backdoor bidding process that they use. It's completely automated. But HUD tells you how interested your buyers are in a house with the public links that it uses. Literally, before you buy it, you can tell how interested buyers are on your property. I'm going to show you that, okay? HUD will take certain percentages off list price at certain times. I kind of gave you a hint to that already as well. And HUD works off case numbers, not off property address. And I can assure you, knowing the details of how the case numbers work makes you a very, very dangerous person. It is a really cool secret that the general public and most investors don't know, okay? Other things, HUD will accept individual offers over company offers, okay? I'll get more into that in a little bit. Each HUD home has a sign-in sheet that each person who enters or works in the house must sign. This could be a ready-made buyer lead sheet for you once you take over the house. Any agent who has shown the house, been through there, listed the house, brought somebody to see, they have to sign on that sheet. Well, that's already an interested buyer. Tip, this can be your own buyer's list. Once you've actually closed on the house, the first thing you do is go back and grab that sign-in sheet, and you start calling back everybody that's been to that property. You got a built-in buyer's list. That's tip number one. If you didn't write that down, you need to write it down now. Then, as an investor, you can make $5,000 to $8,000 on every single one of these deals very, very easily. You can buy a house for less than HUD has listed it, and then turn around quickly, sometimes the same day, sell that house for less than what HUD had it listed for. You heard me right. You could turn around and sell it literally within days for less than what HUD had that house listed for. Okay? Now, to really learn and understand how to earn steady, substantial profits by selling HUD properties requires knowing how to navigate and deal with HUD. Okay? Now, let me go back just a second. I want to talk to you a little bit about what it used to be like. Let me see. This training will now cover 4 specific things. The new revolution in buying HUD properties. What is HUDHomestore.com? There are active cash buyers out there ready to buy these homes once you get them under contract, and how you can make $5,000 to $8,000 on every single deal. Now, back in the day, all right, I first started doing HUD properties back in 2004. Hold on one second. And in 2004, 2005, 2006, HUD had websites in every single city. I mean, they had all these different sites, portals that you could go into, and literally only the agents had access to it. It wasn't something that we, the general public, could go look at. Okay, we completely and totally dependent on agents. It's almost like doing HUD properties was a secret even back then. But if you were able to find a HUD approved agent, what did you have to do? You had to train them how to evaluate the properties, how to identify the properties that were on daily bid. And what all daily bid means is that after that 14-day or 15-day period goes by, you put in bids and you know if you got the house the very next day. Okay? But literally, we had to go visit the house before you put an offer on it because you didn't know what it looked like. You had no idea. You had to meet with the agent to sign the contracts, to do the offer. Okay, then you had to wait to see if your bid was accepted, and you could only buy the house outright. You couldn't double close, you couldn't flip it, anything like that. It was painful. I mean, absolutely painful. Now, don't get me wrong, we were very successful doing these. We acquired quite a few of them. What was really nice is that once we kind of fixed them up, we turn around, we could do a cash out refinance, make a little money on the side, completely tax-free, but we weren't able to turn around and immediately sell that house. And that was a real thorn because we'd have them from anywhere from 6 months to 18 months to 24 months before we could actually get a buyer in there and sell it because of the deed restrictions. Okay? So the new revolution in buying HUD properties works like this. HUD completely automated the bidding process. All bids nationally are done online through one portal. I'm loving it, okay? All listings are at or below what I talked about, the bank-owned properties, the REOs. You're buying these for less than the REOs out there. HUD has their own dedicated brokers that they list with for the first 15 days, bidding these properties out to owner occupants during that waiting period, okay? But literally, you can identify and look at all the agents that are available that you can make offers with right on HUD's main online portal, okay? All the homes, like I said, they're prepped for sale, completely winterized, okay? You don't have to worry about any of the pipes busting like that. They're cleaned up. They go in and get all the furniture, all the leftover clothes, the big screen TV, whatever. They keep the grass cut. Everything's made the house so it's secure, not a challenge, all right? Again, they change those locks and they have those multiple keys that you'll over time get access to, and they're constantly checked up on a regular basis. Here's the thing, one of the best resources to actually get a HUD key from is either a realtor that you work with, develop a good relationship with, or an appraiser, because these two individuals always have HUD keys, okay? Now, the new revolution in HUD properties also, I've shared with you, doesn't have deed restrictions. You can do back-to-back closing. I'm going to show you some of that here very, very shortly. One of the most important details of all is you can put these properties under contract and not close on them with no penalty. You can get an offer accepted, all right, and then you can turn around and not close on that property. And this allows you to bid blindly. You don't have to go to the property. You can just look at the pictures that are on the website, make the bids. You don't have to do anything, okay, with this property and have no reservations, no concern if you turn around and not close on that property. It is outstanding way to do business, okay? Now, what is the HUD Home Store? It is their portal that actually walks you through to be able to look at and identify properties in your market. So what I want to do right quick, I told you we're going to go out to the net. Here we go. So we've got a HUD Home Store is live here. And it's really great because all the states are listed. You can go to any state and start making offers on those properties. Okay. I mentioned too, you need to find a broker. Well, wherever you are, whatever state you're in. Okay, let's just do Connecticut. All right. You can identify throughout the state, whatever city you're in, and get in contact with an agent. Bang. You don't have to worry about how am I going to find one. HUD tells you all the agents that can actually make offers for you. You can develop those relationships with their NIAD number. Okay? Now, what's also good is when you're out and you're working on property, say you've got one under contract, okay, and you need to know who to get in touch with to gain access, maybe turn the power on, turn the lights on. All that contact information is right here. You just need the case number for the property you have under contract, and it'll give you who manages the property. There's basically two entities across the country. There's one very large one called PEMCO, and they work out of Hawaii, Denver, Atlanta, and Miami. There's another one out there called Home Telus, and they're based in Nashville. So in most cases, once you get a property under contract, you're going to sign off on the contract, and then you're going to mail in your either $500 earnest money or $1,000 earnest money, because that's all you have to put up on these properties. You'll either mail it to one of those offices in Denver for PEMCO, or you may have to mail it to Nashville for Home Telus. There's even another local one here in the Atlanta area called Afori, and they're easy to work with as well. So without a doubt, you have all the contact information you need when you're talking about doing these deals. You can actually pull this puppy up, go to any state you want. Let's just do Florida. I think there's Lee County, something like that. I think it's Lee County. There's a bunch of counties down here. And bang, you can look at all the properties that are available. Okay. Now, what's really sexy is that HUD will let you pull a spreadsheet with the properties already laid out on them. And this is going to be very, very important when we talk about getting down to details to actually determining what you're going to offer for these properties. Okay. Now, what I like to do first is I go in and I sort these puppies by price, because I want to work with the lowest ones to the highest ones, and typically because I want to wholesale some of these properties or put them out there to sell for cash, I work with all the properties that are right $100,000 or less, because when I get done making my special calculations to make the offers on these, I know if I've got a house that's $100,000 less, in some cases, most cases, I'm going to find a buyer that's got cash that can buy the house, or I'm going to find a wholesaler that's going to want to buy the house. Okay? So this makes it really, really straightforward. I mean, HUD makes it so easy for you to take. I mean, when you know that you've got these little secrets, you can do some real damage inside their site. One of the other things I wanted to show you is, remember when I said HUD works off case numbers, and here's a clear indication that they do. I'm just going to rank these properties by case number. Notice you can't rank by address. You can rank by price, you can rank by bedrooms, bathroom, list price, but you can't rank by address. It is so important that you know how to take advantage of the information related to that case number. Very, very, very valuable to you. Okay? Now, let's keep moving. Whoops, went too far. All right. Now, here's the other thing. There are cash buyers out there to be found when you're working on these deals. Okay? Let me give you just a quick example of how that works. I'm going to just take, this is in Lee County, so I'm going to take any one of these properties, okay? And so here it is, nice house, 2-car garage out front. We're going to be able to see the pictures inside the house and stuff you can do right on the HUD Home Store website, okay? Nice open space. You can see everything's clean. This house is ready for you to take it right to a wholesale or retail buyer, okay? Here's some information that's real interesting. This is a repair escrow, okay? This property needs absolutely no repairs. There's no money being held off to the side for a buyer on this one. But if we grab this address, this is Chesterfield, and then 33917 is the zip. I want to go to Investor Comps Online. I want to show you something right quick. Let me log in. to my own little account, because finding buyers for these properties is really easy. And when you have investor comps online at your disposal, which I'm going to share with you later when we walk through this, you're going to find that you're going to be a very, very dangerous individual when it comes down to doing these deals. I think that zip was 33917. I think that's what it was. Let's see. I'm pulling this for the very first time. I never looked at this property ever before in life. All right, so you can see here it's held by Secretary of HUD, okay? And then we're going to pull up and get our valuation report, see what kind of comparables and stuff in the market here. But the main thing we want to do is identify. We want to look at what buyer activity. You got a nice cluster of comparables around this property. One thing we're going to look at is it was foreclosed by HUD. Formerly had a mortgage of $182,000 on here. When this thing was bought back by Bank of America, and we know it's only listed for $105 now. So there's definitely some upside potential on this property. Here we can see the median average value in the area is $153.5. They've got it listed for $105. I'm going to show you how to get it for less than that, and be in a situation where you can get it and remarket it for less than what HUD has to sell for. So I'm going to walk through a couple of these properties and see right here. Here's comp 5. See right here, this Triple Braid Cord LLC and Ironwood Development. That's actually a buyer that bought a property from Fannie Mae. You've already identified a buyer in your market for your wholesale deal. If you want to move with them, you're going to contact them, develop a relationship with them, and bang, you're off to the races with a property. You can identify a buyer, someone who's already bought a house in that market area. And all you want to do is go through and double check and see if there's anybody else that is an entity that has bought property in that market area or that has actually sold the property. Sometimes you have different little development companies that will buy properties from HUD and turn around and remarket them and sell them. So you can take advantage of that. Okay? So now let's go back. Buyers are out there right in the market area ready for you to take your deals to. Let me see. There's one other thing. Now, typically, I want you to make $5,000 to $8,000 on every one of these deals. Your goal, my goal, all of our goals is to buy HUD properties much less than what HUD has them on the market for. Then take them right back to the market and sell them much less than what HUD would even sell them for. And you can do this because you can do what? No deed restrictions, double close, and typically you can do it in about 7 days. Identify that buyer and then be ready to move on your deal. Literally, folks, I'm telling you this, I've got plenty of social proof for you. You'll be amazed, excuse me, how truly easy it is to do these deals with HUD houses as your basis. Okay, let me show you. This is when I first started doing this. Was a project, made an offer, got a counter offer notice, put it out there, turned around, made my counter offer, got my offer accepted. Okay, right away. Then I put under contract with HUD and turned right back around, got my buyer. Well, even before that, what was really cool was this was the property. It was actually the realtor had it listed on YouTube. So literally I could take somebody, they could go look and see. And I didn't care if they saw how much the house was listed for because I was selling it for less than what it was listed for because you could see. Look, I got a contract for 86, okay? Then I was turned around, put out a contract for 97, which was less than the list price, okay? Here's a bunch more of examples. Let me pull these up for you, okay? Here's one. Here's another one I did, okay? This one was at the end of the year, okay? Over in Conyers, got it under contract for $75,400, okay? And then turned right around, put in a contract for $80,984. So there's a quick $6,000 profit for you, okay? Now, here's another young lady that's done business with, she's a student, Miss Denise Davis. She got this property for $88,000. So that closing date, 1/25 of this year, okay? Then she turned right back around, same day, double close for $93,000. Quick $5,000 profit on that deal. Now, that was the end of January. Now, Donna is so good, and she's been implementing this system so well, she turned around. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me see. Hold on. I want to make sure I do this the right way. Where's my thing? Hold on. I told y'all I was imperfect, man. Where's my HUD sheet at? It's not coming up. Hold on. But it's right there. Well, I won't. All right, let's do it this way. 88. Is that the right price? That's Brewster. There's another property. Okay, here we go. So here's one that was acquired for 65,348. Okay, and this is 6 days later, January 31st. Okay, turn around, sold it for 69, another 4,000 bucks. So here, turn around and made $5,000 the first of the week, made another $4,000 and some change at the end of the week. That is exactly the type of transaction you want to do doing your double closings. Okay, you can't go wrong doing these deals. I'm telling you, it is absolutely phenomenal. Now, listen, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever bought a HUD house? Some of you have, I'm sure, but you probably didn't know. But HUD has a lot of little secrets. I want to kind of clue you in on these, okay? It's hidden, but HUD already tells you how interested your buyers are in the homes before you buy them, okay? Literally, as you're making bids and getting your bid accepting those, you can actually tell how interested other people are in buying the property that you're bidding on, all right? HUD will take certain percentages off the list price at certain times. One of the times we know is right as it's being transitioned from owner-occupant to investors. We're going to see a change in that price. And then there's a couple of times they'll do it after that, okay? But you need to know how that works. HUD works completely off the case numbers, not the address, and we demonstrated that right from the site. That's a secret a lot of folks don't really know, okay? We never change the locks on these houses. If you've done investing and been a rehab or any type of wholesaling, what's the first thing you go do? Go change the locks. You don't need to change the locks on these houses because you're going to move them from you right to your end buyer. Don't bother with it. Keep that money in your pocket. HUD will accept my offers, and my name, Mark Jackson, over an offer made in my company name every time. Even if I offer a little bit more in the company name versus me as an individual, I still will get that property. I bet you didn't know that. Okay, so that's a real secret that you want to have. A lot of us want to do business, using our entities and stuff like that. But literally, because you don't have to worry about not closing on these properties, is not a big deal. Go ahead and bid in your name and move forward. Okay, there's ways to swipe homes from your competition. All right, have you ever bid on a home and didn't get it? Then all of a sudden it's gone. Okay, you're wondering, I bid on it. Okay, I didn't get it and it's completely gone. I can show you how to overcome that and really see what your competition is doing. Okay, now HUD also has two other very distinct secrets. HUD will tell you exactly the amount of repairs the house needs. Okay, you want to be able to know and take that information because you can pull up their form and use it and give it to your potential buyer, and that just helps you. You don't have to go and do a repair estimate. You don't have to call a contractor. HUD's going to tell you exactly what it is, and you can get your money back if you have a challenge not closing with your earnest money, or if something happens with the house. And let me kind of walk you through what that looks like. There's a property that I had under contract, okay? And literally we had an inspection. Now we discovered that there was actually infestation in the house from bats. And I mean, the house had unbelievable stench. So we took this information, delivered it to our agent, completed a cancellation form, and we got our earnest money back. We're out of that property, okay? So literally you just have to know the timing, the information that you have in order to be able to demonstrate and share that with the agent so they can go back to HUD and get your earnest money back. I've done it more than once now, okay? And literally there's a special way to do it. I'm going to share it with you, okay? Now, I use and have taught folks just like you how to magically, and I say magically, calculate the numbers to offer and do your counter offers on HUDs, okay? Now, I'm taking this back to when I told you, back in the old days, when I used to teach the agents how to submit offers, it was manual process. And with my appraiser background, even I had to do a little extra work to figure it out. But now with the automation of the online bidding with the HUD Home Store, it was a little bit more work to really figure out the algorithms and the percentages. But without a doubt, it works like a dream. I have somebody share it with you in just a couple of minutes. So literally, it took me a wealth of time and hard work, which you can now profit from. Okay. I'm wondering if you have an interest now in learning how I crush it with HUD Homes every month with zero marketing. I don't have to go out and look for leads. All the leads are right there on the HUD Store. Okay. And learn how to do this in detail and want to access my automatic calculation method, which everybody knows their numbers. You actually know exactly where you stand. Okay. So what I want to do is I've got a couple of folks with us that are going to share. This is Sweeney over in Oklahoma City who did a deal, okay, in a state where they say you can't double close. You'll see right here, he's got a property under, had it here where he's selling it for $50,000, got it from HUD, turned around, and on his HUD statement, he got $3,500 in earnest money from the buyer because we have a very, very special one-page contract, and that contract goes for you to get $3,500. You can see it right there. It was already paid to Sweeney. And then at the closing table, we got another $4,225. Sweeney, are you with us?
How you doing, MJ?
Oh, man, doing well, doing well. Thanks for joining, man. Without a doubt, this is cool stuff. I mean, that had to feel pretty good to close out and take about $8,000 and put in your pocket.
It just shows how good the training works. It felt awesome.
Well, listen, when you first were introduced to HUD properties and then had the ability to actually use the bidding sheet, what did that do for you?
It just showed me my numbers. It showed me exactly where I needed to be able to get that house under contract so I didn't shoot in the dark and make guesses and really have to wonder what was going to get my bid accepted. The sheet showed me exactly where I needed to put in my offer.
Now, I think this house, you had it for a couple of days and you did a little marketing. Is this the one that you got under contract on your birthday?
Yeah. The way it works is it was Thursday that I put my offer in. Friday, it got accepted. Saturday, contracts were signed. And Sunday, I was able to get it sold and actually under contract into a buyer.
Man, now listen, did you have to change the locks? Did you have to do anything to the house? Did you have to, jump through a whole bunch of hurdles? And did you know the buyer before you put in a contract, before you started making your bids?
I didn't have to do a thing to the house. It was already ready to sell. All I had to do was market it just a little bit by spreading the word that I had a property for sale, and buyers were lining up to get the property from me because it was ready.
And that was still with it already listed by HUD. The realtor sign was all still in front of the house. Was that a challenge at all?
I hadn't even closed yet, and I already had a buyer. It was that quick. That's how good the training works.
And again, you didn't have to worry about the house still being listed by HUD. The realtor sign was still out front. You were still able to sell it, right?
Yep.
So now
I had no issues.
Now you did another one. I don't have the information here, but you did another one that was a HUD almost immediately after this one, right?
Just a few days after, I was able to go right from one deal to getting another one under contract and putting it up for sale and getting it sold.
Now,
and you can just rinse and repeat.
So listen, and I know I'm asking a couple of leading questions. I'm trying to get go somewhere, and I've got another guest that's going to join us as well. But when you look at doing this system, what were the things that made you feel confident that you could move forward that maybe might have been an obstacle in some other ways that you normally would do real estate?
Well, not having money. It felt hard to get into real estate because I didn't have any money. But with HUD Deal Training, I didn't have to come up with any money. And then also I was scared of losing the money I was going to come up with. With just a simple earnest money check, I was able to have the house under contract, not have to do a lot of work, and get a buyer and put money into my pocket.
And rinse and repeat.
Yes, sir.
I hear you, man. Well, look, I thank you very much. Stay with us because we may get some Q&A. And I'm going to do some Q&A. We got some questions. I want to make sure that maybe you can help me get some of them answered, okay?
Not a problem.
Outstanding. Here's another cat that is just phenomenal. This young man, uh, great family, Sean, up in Chattanooga, and I'm talking about flat out aggressive. You're talking about a guy that went in, started making HUD offers, and was bidding on properties like crazy, and literally had a buyer accept 9 deals from him. And we're talking about someone that's really making it happen and working their business. I mean, you're talking about a guy that works during the day, comes in, spends time with his family in the evening, takes an hour nap, and then gets up and works his business after the house is quiet. I mean, talk about individuals. I have more respect for Sean Roberson. Is just a phenomenal guy, and I love having the opportunity to engage with his wife, his lovely family. He's actually a dad for the third time over. Had his first son just before the Christmas holidays. So without a doubt, Sean, just wherever you are, man, you have my utmost respect and pride. This is a guy that gets it done on a regular basis. Also, out in Ohio, got a great guy, Elton Yeltsin, that does a lot of real estate, has been doing it for a number of years. That's Elton and his lovely bride. And what I like about Elton is that literally we all know that, from time to time we get a little bit busy, maybe get a little distraction, maybe some family issues come up. But Elton's really cool in that he shows that HUD and using the HUD system not only works months ago, but you could stop for a little bit and kick right back in and get it going again. Elton, you with us?
I'm with you, MJ.
Outstanding, man. Thanks for being on. Hey, listen, kind of share with everybody, if you don't mind, what your experience is like getting started doing HUDs. You were cracked up, I think it was last summer.
Yeah, yeah, it was last July, August area there, and I got involved with it. And according to the spreadsheet, just like you showed, come in, started putting bids on it, was diligent about it, and within 3 weeks, I had 5 offers accepted.
5 offers accepted.
And then, like you said, go ahead.
No, so when you had those offers accepted, I mean, it was like, was it spread out over time? Was it like two? I think it was like you had three like bang bang bang, and then another two bang bang within just a matter of like 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, it was 3 weeks. I had three the first week and 2 the second week. And what was interesting about that is I put in as a backup bid, and I believe the last one, maybe even the last two, came back, and I didn't even realize that they were accepted as well. And I had only bid for 3 weeks, and I had 5 of them accepted.
And that's cool because literally you use the strategy of positioning yourself with the offer, and then you only go so far. You set it up as a backup offer, and then lo and behold, because we know that the way the secret little tip in terms of how HUD adjusts their prices, you wind up and got in those deals without even having to put any other further counter offers on them. So that's outstanding. Now, here's the ticket. Now we know that stuff comes up with family and stuff like that, or different opportunities come where you kind of took a little time off, right?
Yeah, I did. I took a little bit of time off, get some things straightened out, and got back into it about 2 weeks ago, 2 3 weeks. I think it was just 2 weeks ago. Started putting bids out every night again, and last Thursday I had 2 of them accepted again already within less than a week and a half.
Within we so not you didn't start making offers like 2 months ago. You jumped in about 1.5 weeks ago, made new offers, and bang, using the exact same system, same spreadsheet, same numbers to calculate, and you got offers accepted again.
Used the exact same system, and yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was that quick.
And here's a real good example right here on the sheet. We can see that the list price is 63,000. Your bid amount is 47. There's almost what? That's $16,000 spread in there. So you're going to turn around and remarket this one less than what HUD has it for. So folks, you can see Elton is actually executing this at a very high level, man. And now, was it much of a challenge for you to get a relationship with a NID realtor so you could actually make and submit the bids on your own?
No, not at all. Not at all. It was an area guy that had some experience with in the past, and I just called him up, and we were talking about it, and I just asked him if he had any experience, had an NAID number, and he said yeah, and we started talking. And I
told him what I was getting into. This was last summer. And I said, listen, I can send you all the information over, and you can take the time to do all the bids, or we can hook up, and I'll do it. And all you have to do is, do his stuff as a selling agent, and
collect the
it's
money.
just a piece of cake. It's just a piece of cake.
Sweet.
And we got a great working relationship. We signed these 2 contracts last week, and he just shook his head and he looked at me and said, I don't know how you're doing it. And he actually went and took a class just to make sure that, the HUD contracts and everything, that he knows what's going on.
Right.
Because this kind of, he's just, he's not really doing a whole lot himself because I'm doing the business myself through him. All he's doing is, once I sell these 2 properties to buyers, all he's doing is collecting a check.
There you go. That's sweet, man. That is sweet. Elton, I can't thank enough. Look, do you mind hanging around, maybe take a couple of questions as well?
No, I'll be here.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So listen, everybody, here's the ticket. Here's what's next. All right, literally, HUD Deal Training is the way that you actually get in and figure out with very easy method steps to actually do real estate and do it a very high way. What I'm going to do is, beginning in 1 week, walk everybody through, holding your hand step by step, how to make offers on these properties, how to use all the tips and the behind the scenes secrets that HUD has so that you can be successful. We're going to go at it for 4 weeks so that literally in that time frame, you can have a property under contract, all right? Get your buyer in place and be ready to do your double closing. Now, that's how you do business. Literally, there's very few places out there where you're going to get somebody that's going to walk you. I'm going to show you every single tip. We'll come back and answer questions on every session, walking you through how to actually do these deals and do them very, very, very well. Okay? Now, there's one thing I want to do before I get kicking this, because just yesterday, I met with a gentleman, I won't call him a homeboy, Mike Freeman, who's actually from New Jersey and has just moved down to Georgia. What I'm going to do, I'm going to look and see if Mike said he was going to be on here tonight. Let me see if I can't find it right quick. And I'm going to unmute it because I just think, there's a lot to be said for having somebody that you're engaging with, students that you're engaging with, folks that actually can see the real thing happening. And it was Mike's been an Investor Comps Online client for a good little while and has done some other products and training with us. And I just can't be more grateful to have the opportunity to actually sit down and shake somebody's hand and say, look, man, it's good to meet you, and so on and so forth. So, Mike, are you with us?
Yeah, MJ, how you doing?
Well, man, good seeing you. Yesterday we popped into Starbucks and got us a little, you did good. You had a fruit smoothie. I had some coffee. But it was good meeting you, man. Listen, now, everybody, I want to give Mike a lot of credit. He was like, look, MJ, I want to meet you. I want to sit down. I was like, you're right here in Atlanta, not challenged. And we chatted. We talked about New Jersey. We talked about family life. We got to know each other a little bit. And about 30 minutes into chat, and Mike says, but hey, MJ, listen, I got this deal, this HUD deal. So you're talking about a guy that's like, look, if I got the man in front of me, I'm not going to miss the opportunity. So I got to give you mad props, Mike. That was sweet. So
yes, MJ.
Here's the deal. Now, this is what's so sexy. So Mike is from New Jersey, everybody. Just moved to Georgia in the Atlanta area. And here he is looking at deals in Augusta, Georgia, 2 hours away. You can do that when you're doing HUD deals, okay? It's very, very simple. So literally what we did, Mike showed me the deal. This is the house. It's a ranch property, looking good. It's in great shape. Bathroom, it's already, winterized, protected. Probably needs a little paint here and there, but no big deal. Nice brick house out in Augusta, Georgia. Got the wash and dry hookups and everything. So what we did was we went ahead. Mike had already brought the Investor Comps Online report with him. So here are the comparables right around the house. Here's the subject property. And then we went and looked. Now, this property is being offered for $78,000, okay? And we looked, and the first thing we could see using Investor Comps Online is that the bank got it back HUD got it back from Wells Fargo for $65,600. So under no circumstances are we ever going to offer more than what the bank got the property back for. We're always going to hold back on that number as a baseline. But even more than that, as we go down and look at the comparables, this one's listed for 78. There's a median value of 102 in the market area. Easily can turn around and sell this property for less than what HUD has it listed for. Okay? And look at these comparables right in the neighborhood, 109, 105. Here's one that's 78, but it's an REO as well. So we know you never want to pay more than that $78,000. Okay? 129, 129. Mike, I mean, literally, when we got done talking about this deal, how did you feel? What direction were you ready to go in?
I was fired up. I couldn't wait to get to the telephone so I can call a realtor and set it up. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule just to sit down with me. It meant a lot to me.
It is my pleasure, man. We get folks that come to Atlanta and they make a transition here, or they're doing business, or they're coming to visit. I'm always open to engage with folks. So, Mike, it was an absolute pleasure, man. I look forward to doing some really cool stuff. And matter of fact, we'll see you in a couple of weeks at the live event as well.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Cool beans. So hang tight with us, Mike. We'll probably bring you back in, okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. Let me pull this down. All right, so everybody, there's just good stuff going on in real estate. Again, I want to walk through and hold your hand for the next 4 weeks, beginning next week, to actually see how HUD Deal Training works, okay? There's one other thing I need to share with you, because literally the system is up and ready to go. What we've done is actually build out the site. It's a complete training module. All you'll do is log into your membership, okay? And literally, I'm going to log in myself. I've got MJ in my PJs. That's me. And what we're going to do is you're going to have immediate access to the system. We got a welcome page, walks you through, talks a little about the system, and literally, we're going to build out each and every module so you can go back and watch them and do the steps week after week after week. And we're even going to do a bonus session, okay? One of the things, too, is I've got a page set up so literally you can see, hold on a second, just the basics, even as we get started right now, the basic of what it's going to take, what we're going to do to walk through doing this system. And on top of that, we've got paperwork that's already ready to go. You've got this perfect one-page contract. And there's some very distinct details on this contract that walk you through and just demonstrate how you can do the double closing, how you don't have to pay any property taxes when you're actually buying the house. You pass that cost on to your buyer, okay? You've got an offer letter in here, proof of funds letter, a script to talk to realtor, a script to talk to buyers, and then some inspection forms should you decide to rehab one of these houses, okay? You also have a resource tab, but without a doubt, folks, HUD Deal Training is ready for you to engage and get started right away. And I'm excited to have an opportunity to do this with you. Now, one thing I want you to do, I want you to know that you're going to have access to Investor Comps Online. You've seen 2 demonstrations of how powerful it is to be able to look and identify the buyers in your market area, as well as being able to evaluate their property and see what the bank paid for it. So one thing about Investor Comps Online is every plan includes an online valuation system, real estate e-signs. We do a lot of extra valuation ideas and tips. I do live calls every single month, the first of the month, so you can actually jump in and ask any question you want, as well as additional teleclasses and webinars and much, much more. That's a $100 value, completely complimentary. I'm going to give it to you for 30 days. Now, one thing is great about Investor Comps Online is you can search for a property by the address. Sometimes you need to search by the tax ID if it's a listing for the newspaper. Sometimes you just have the owner's name. You don't have the address at all. You can still find information about that property. And then there's times where the address is messed up. It's 14th Street, and you don't know if it's 14TH or FOURTNTH. You need to be able to search and find that property, and Investor Comps Online allows you to do that. But more importantly than that, you never have to feel alone again when you're working on deals. We have a complete valuation system that has a knowledge base, downloads with paperwork, prior trainings, prior telephone calls, prior webinars, case studies. But in addition to that, you can submit a support ticket and say, hey, I need help, okay? And literally we'll jump out there and help you evaluate that deal, okay? On top of that, I want you to have access to Investor Comps Online, okay? Because literally, Investor Comps Online is my own little way to help you be a mini real estate investor, a real estate appraiser. You can go in and listen to these calls. One that's really, really great is be able to tell a deal from a dud, or even sales comparables, how to determine what's a good sales comparable. On top of that, there's other videos in here, knowing how to determine your market areas. As you're looking to do HUD properties, you may not want to do in your own backyard. You need another area that you want to do deals in. I show you how to identify and find a good market. There's mastermind calls on here. Appraisers have real estate investors fighting for them. Tips on marketing, planning, buying in 2010, avoiding sellers' mistakes. Extra training videos. There's many boot camps on here and a full manual of Know Your ARV. You will be a valuation expert and never overbid on a property when you have Know Your ARV at your disposal. That is a $497 value, and I want you to have that as a very special bonus. Now, in addition to this, you heard me just mention with Mike, as part of doing HUD Deal Training, I want you to have complete access to come to Atlanta. We're having a 2-day mastermind here in spring of this year. It's going to come up at the end of April. Literally, we come in, there's no other speakers, there's no one there pitching you, selling you, or anything like that. It's just me and a small group of folks that are going to be together working on our deals. We're going to delve into your real estate investing business, build it up, find out where you need to enhance, where you need to stop doing that you're doing to get better. And literally, that is a $1,297 value, and I want you to have that completely complimentary. We come in, and again, we engage. We go out to the ball game together, just so we can actually get to know each other. We sit down, we have meals together, we share time, but we also work. We get into actually analyzing, doing deals at a very, very high level, working on your mindset, how it's going to help you be successful doing real estate. And again, we just try to go out, have some meals, and go have a good time while we're working on our real estate investing business. It is absolutely phenomenal. Now, remember, I am not trying to snow you with some ludicrous income claim. Everything I've showed you to people that have been on here and share and talk with you are doing HUD deals and doing them in real time. You're not seeing HUDs from 2010 and 2009. You're seeing stuff that is less than 45 days old, okay? Actual transactions taking place, all right? What the question is, will you give yourself the chance you deserve and start really doing HUD deals right now, okay? Remember, I'm going to walk you through holding your hand week by week while you do your very own HUD properties, okay? Literally, and that's how we do it. And I wanted to show you the HUD Deal Training site, okay? HUD Deal Training is only $997 for all those folks who are on here and going to take action and get started. You've heard Sweeney, you've heard Elton, you've seen the transaction I've done and helped other folks do. This is real, and it's happening in real time, and you want to take advantage of it. Literally, we're going to do it together, step by step by step. You're going to have 4 weeks, week after week, to walk through getting a property under contract, okay? Learning all the intricacies, having my special calculation formula to getting the deals and making the offers and getting them accepted. I'm going to share with you that perfect one-page purchase contract. You're going to have access to your offer letter, POF letter, the phone scripts, the buyer scripts. You're going to have access to some really secret tips on SEO and marketing for properties to identify those buyers. That's at least almost worth $900, okay? I'll price it at $797. You're going to have access to investor consulting. There's going to be nothing stopping you from evaluating those properties and finding those buyers very, very quickly. You're going to have Know Your ARV so you can evaluate properties like a pro, be a valuation specialist, and you're going to come to Atlanta live, and we're going to work in your business. We're actually going to go out and visit HUD properties so you can see exactly how I do it in my business. Now, the best thing about this is that literally I realize there's opportunities out there. So you can do a one pay of $997. Go ahead and go to www.hudhomeprofits.com and go ahead and get signed up right away. You'll get immediate access to the site. You're going to register, create your own username and password. Or if you need something a little bit different, you can do a 2-pay of $597. Pay one payment now, one payment later at $597. But you want to get in this, you want to get started right now. This isn't like it's some high-level coaching program. This is just a system that if you walk with me, let me help you, guide you, you could be very, very successful and start putting some money in your bank account. It is real. So go ahead. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bunch. I'm going to look and open up the line for questions. I want to be able to answer questions, look at different market areas, and get to folks. Really hit you with what's important to you. I believe it. Again, it's so important that we do this and we do it live because it adds so much more value to the experience. But without a doubt, you want to go to HUDHomeprofits.com, HUDHomeprofits, HUDHomeprofits.com. Go ahead and get signed up, and we're going to get started on this thing. I've got some really cool stuff for you, even as we lead up to the first training next week. Okay? So now we've got a number of folks on here. I'm going to go in. I'm going to go through the list. Boy, there's a line of questions. Wow. Okay, I'm going to just go back to the top of the hour. And, woo, man. All right, John, here it goes. All right, so John says, I can't hear you. Sounds good. Slide visible. But we need to have cash to buy in order to turn around and sell right away. No, you do not need cash to buy. The way I show you to do this with your special one-page contract, it's set up so that you can specifically be ready to double close, okay? Not a challenge at all, even if you're within 30 days. No, you don't need the cash within 30 days. I hope I'm answering this the right way. As long as you got your buyer, you're going to double close. You don't need anything other than that $500 earnest money. If it's less than $50,000 that you get a contract, if it's over $50,000, $1,000, you can have a house that's $250,000, and the earnest money is what? $1,000, and you can still double close on that. What does lottery mean when you look at the HUD sale? That actually happens when you're doing it beyond being a regular investor. Okay, typically if you're a HUD approved entity to make an offer, or even owner occupants, there's a lottery that takes place. So that's beyond. We catch them after that. How does bidding process work if you are acting as part of a 501c3? No big deal. You still bid exactly. You can still bid in your name, and then part of 501c3, you probably want to bid in that entity's name. And I can still show you some tricks. It doesn't work quite as smooth as bidding in your own name, but you can still bid as a 501c3. And literally, if you get HUD approved, the question before that, you can actually be engaged at the lottery level. So good question there. Now, we got some folks that are signing up. So I definitely want to make sure everybody gets the opportunity because, again, I can work with a lot of folks, but I don't want to be overwhelmed. Our business and our relationship and doing customer service is far too important just to sign up everybody to go. So I want to get the first people that are ready to rock and roll. So definitely go to HUDHomeprofits.com. You can do the one pay for $9.97 or the two pay for $5.97. You'll register, get immediate access to the portion of HUD Deal Training already set up, and then we'll be sending you notices to go ahead and be ready for next week when we get started. I am a NID broker in California. Outstanding. All right. So without a doubt, here's somebody. This is Barbara, who's already NID. So if anybody's on here, contact Barbara or send her a chat in the session so you can do it. In San Diego, hundreds of HUD brokers, but practically no HUD properties. Why? It really depends on the amount of volume that's taking place in the market area. Again, you may want to look in a county right over from San Diego, or you may want to just identify a different market area that you can do business in. Not every market area is going to be flooded with home properties. However, you can see literally there, if you look at HUD, there's over 100,000 HUD properties on a daily basis out there ready to be bought. So without a doubt, there's a market area where you can actually do business, even if it's not in your backyard. But when one does come in your backyard, you want to be ready to jump on it. Your screen is having issues. Sorry, didn't mean my screen would have issues. Does HUD cash the earnest money check after you close or before? I don't know. I know they typically send it to the closing agent, so it's there. When we had to get we had to cancel the contract. Literally, we didn't get back the original earnest money check. They sent me back something from HUD from one of their own banks. So at some point, they definitely go ahead and deposit it. But literally, with the stuff I teach you, you can get your earnest money back. If that's a concern, I want to be more concerned about finding your buyer and closing, okay? But literally, we eliminate the obstacle as far as the earnest money is concerned, okay? Does earnest money max out at $2,000? In the market areas and everyone I've associated with, it's $1,000. It's not even $2,000. Since HUD does not allow the repair funds for investors as they do with owners? Is there a good way to somehow use those numbers to calculate your lowest offer? Absolutely. We'll get into that when we start doing the training next week. And you also use it when you negotiate with your buyers. What percent do you bid on manufactured homes? It really depends. We'll have to look at that as we get into the training next week because I'm sure there's a basic methodology that I can implement for manufactured. And the only time we've done manufactured homes too is someone that actually already had a buy and hold buyer. So they were actually turning that over to a buy and hold. They wholesaled it and then put the wholesaler, the person that bought it, started using it for rental property. So the math is a little bit different. But issues with your screen display. I am so sorry. Overnight, all the HUD are gone in my area, Austin. Would you advise me to just start looking elsewhere? You definitely want to have an opportunity where you can market. You never want to let the properties that may are in your own county, something like that, stop you from doing business without a doubt. And again, there are always going to be properties that come back. I mean, I've seen in the 5 counties I do business in, one day there'll be 1 property, one day there'll be 2 properties, one day there'll be 8 properties, one day there'll be 3 properties. So it does change, but as long as you're actively working your business, you'll be able to take advantage of doing these deals because literally you want to make bids every single day. Okay. Is this a recording? Yes, we're actually doing recording. Does the Investor Conference Line have any way to help those of us in Texas? Absolutely. Texas is a non-disclosure state. So is Missouri, Idaho, New Mexico. Literally, we teach you how to use all the information that's available that isn't there. Only thing that's not there is the sales price. You have mortgage information, all kinds of stuff where we're actually able to, this is my favorite word, we get to extrapolate what we believe the value to be. So without a doubt, it happens. And in some cases, even in Texas, some of the counties, the sales price is there. So don't even worry about that. Perry, definitely we can work with you in a non-disclosure state like Texas. If you bid in your name, can you close in the name of an entity? Typically, you just want to close in your name and move on. Okay. If you can transfer title once you've closed. Okay. But if you're going to bid in your name, close in your name, and then transfer title. If you're going to bid an entity, bid an entity. Okay. It's not that you won't get deals accepted as an entity. It's just the numbers are a little bit different because they're going to take individuals first. Okay. Yes, please. Yes, Mark. Bring it, Dr. J. Mark, there's no magic. After you bid, HUD will send you the amount they will accept. What about the complete marketing offers? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to see what this says. Okay, what about the competition making offers on the same property? Literally, when I show you how to use this spreadsheet, you'll know how to position yourself to be in best position to make those offers, even on the counter offers. And again, we're going to show you how to tell what competition you're having in on the deals you're actually making. And the beautiful part about it is you're going to be making multiple offers, so don't sweat the details. Elton Yancey, Ohio, got 5 bids, but only make money after you sold them. How do you do that? Double closes, baby. It's simple. Literally, it's simple. You identify those buyers, and you got. Here's the thing: you're going to remarket these properties, every one of them, for less than what HUD already had it listed for, and you're going to have access to all the buyers that have already come through that property and walked away and come back and say, hey, I've got this one now listed for X number of dollars less than the list price. I've seen and done this with the existing information of people that have already come by to hire. It's a built-in buyers list. I've been using John Cochran's HUD spreadsheet system. How is yours different? Completely different. Completely different. John's a great guy, and he actually used a system based on making an offer percentage off of based on bedroom bathroom counts. What I do is completely different. Let's see. Change screen if you have screenshots. Your slides are not advancing on Elton Yelty. Sorry. Possibly offline question. I take offline questions. That's not a challenge. Do you have different screenshots for what you're speaking about? Sorry. I apologize if there was a challenge with the computer receiving. Without a doubt, I go through this stuff pretty quick and use, but there is a recording, so we're in good shape. How can I use this program in as a real estate agent? Thanks. Literally, there's no challenge for you actually doing business. There's lots of realtors out there that are investors themselves. And when you, I can tell you, here's a great story. Um, and it deals with the realtor. Literally, my sister just transitioned. She moved from the Georgia market to the Houston, Texas market, and was had a corporate move. And I told her, instead of going buying a house, get you a HUD house. So she started looking at HUD houses. They went to a number of them. She had an agent, and that was an NAID approved agent. Now again, this was an investment person. She was actually buying for herself. So she visited a couple houses, and literally the house that she was making an offer on, I gave her some details in terms of how to make the offer and some specific questions to ask the realtor. And in one of those questions had to do with identifying how many offers had actually been made on the property. Well, based on the information that you get back from HUD when you're making an offer, you can tell a specific information about the competition. Literally, my sister had no competition on the house that she was making an offer at. And as an NAID realtor, you could go in and be looking at the system, and you could be making offers and know if you've got any competition as well. So it's a tremendous way as an agent to take advantage of this HUD Deal Training. Are you saying you use your own one-page contract rather than a realtor contract? When I'm selling the house, absolutely. I use my own one-page contract with my buyers, without a doubt. Okay? So if you have almost no money, appeal of letter only, I will be able to flip or back out of deal if no second-hand buyer. You definitely, I will show you exactly how to transition out of these projects with if you aren't able to identify a buyer. Okay. Let's see. Did you mention how to raise the cash to close on deals for one-day funding? Literally, you're not really working with one-day funding on these. You're going to do double closings. Literally, your buyer is going to be able to fund you for your deal. That's what makes this so beautiful. You heard Sweeney say, if you're an individual that's challenged, worried, concerned about not having significant resources to do real estate, you don't have an identified private lender or whatever the case may be, that challenge completely goes away because with these HUD deals, you're going to double close. You're not going to have to worry about having funding. I'm trying to get through all these questions. How can be so few investors qualified deals 3 in Fulton County, Georgia right now, and yet this be a good market to pursue? Because literally those deals are constantly changing. HUD is trickling and releasing out properties. And if you're looking at one county, even in here, when I'm doing Atlanta, I actually function primarily in 5 counties, but then I search through an additional 13. So I'm always identifying and finding deals, okay, that I can immediately turn around and wholesale. All right. So it's not a challenge. You literally, and then, again, you can bid blindly. Okay. It's not a challenge. As far as double closing in Texas, that's not a challenge. Sweeney over in Oklahoma, they have a situation where they say they can't double close. I know plenty and have relationships with lots of title companies, and we can get somebody, a closing attorney, especially using the contract I have, to be able to do a double close. Don't you worry about it. HUD Title Company do not allow double close. You're not going to double close with the HUD Title Company. You're going to close with your own title agent, and then you'll close with the HUD Title Agent. There's nothing I said about moving the closing from HUD. You want to close with HUD because they're going to save you money. They're not going to charge you a title closing fees. They're not going to charge you for title insurance. You make money and put more profit in your pocket by not moving away from the HUD Title Company, without a doubt. Okay, can you make offer in your name? Absolutely make offer in your name. But extra contract earns money and art. You can, yes, if the IRA, let me answer it this way. If the IRA actually, you're going to write a check for the IRA, but as long as the check account for the IRA has your name on it, like it would be Mark Jackson, 401k, self-directed, something like that, okay? That's how I would have the checking account made out. But you can actually pull the funds, pay for it, and then if you want to turn around and sell the house, then you just put the money back in your self-directed IRA. So not a challenge in terms of using those funds and being able to actually earn some returns in your self-directed IRA with no tax consequences. Do you receive the repair escrow funds from HUD? Only owner-occupied buyer gets escrow, gets those funds. As far as I know, the only way to close a HUD deal is wet closing. So you need to use transactional funding and can't use your buyer's funds. Is that correct? No. Every project we've done has been with the double closing. Is Sweeney still out there? Sweeney, you still with us?
Right here.
Hey, describe your double closing with for this particular question, if you don't mind, please. And again, you're in Oklahoma, where supposedly you can't double close, and literally you definitely used your buyer's funds to close the front end of your HUD transaction.
Exactly. On both of my deals, I received a $3,500 earnest money check up front from my buyer, and I used my buyer's funds as they were put in the title company 3 days prior to double close. The money that I got from my buyer paid for my deal.
There you go. No sweat. You did one closing at your title company, and you went to the HUD closing after that, right?
That's right.
Okay.
I closed with my buyer, went to HUD.
And supposedly in Oklahoma, you're not supposed to be able to double close, right? Supposedly. But it's all about relationships, so not a challenge. Okay. Thanks. Stay with me, okay, Sweeney?
Will do.
Okay. Does HUD sell MF property and can multifamily? This applies to the houses as well. Yes, they do have multifamily properties from time to time. Typically, a lot up on the East Coast. We have someone named Dwayne up there that actually does deals on HUD properties, and he sees duplexes all the time. All right. Going through the questions. So you stated in your email promoting the webinar and during this webinar that you're going to teach us how to make offers with the assurance we not lose our earnest money. Yep, unless I miss something. Right. So essentially, literally, you're in a situation where you make offers, and based on where you're in a situation, if you say you literally can't get that buyer, okay? There are different means and ways that you can communicate with your agent to be able to say, look, I've got to challenge this property. The condition has changed in some way, and there's no telling. There's any number of different things that happen between when you maybe the appraiser came out and the inspector came out and put the house up for listing, and then from the time that all those people have gone through it, or maybe when you get ready to move, if you're in a situation where you're having a challenge identifying your buyer coming up that 30 days, and maybe you know, look, I just want to let this one go and get my earnest money back. Without a doubt, there's every capacity to do that using a cancellation form with HUD. And you just have to have a little bit of justification, but you never have to worry about losing your earnest money. Do you say you have something special on PEMCO form to get earnest money back? Just talked about that. It's not on the PEMCO form. It's actually another cancellation form that you would actually submit. In my market area, there are very few deals that ever make it past the first look. Is there a limit of properties? Every market area is going to be different. And I wish I had control over to make sure everybody had 20 properties in their immediate market area. But even I look at multiple counties in and around my metro Atlanta area using investor comps online to evaluate those properties, make sure that I'm actually going to be able to remarket them very, very effectively. So every market is going to be different. And again, you have to realize these houses get sold very, very quickly in most cases. And they're going to come off HUD, and then another batch is going to be there. I've seen it time and time and time again, because literally I'm going to show you that you want to make offers every single day, even if you made an offer the prior day before on the properties in your market area. If an agent is a HUD broker, they cannot do these deals. They don't allow it. I'm going to have to move agents to do HUD deals. You may just want to partner with an investor and have them make the offers as an NID agent, okay? So without a doubt, there's a way to accomplish a task. And again, I'm not a realtor, never have been, and I have a real good relationship with two agents here, one that I trained as an appraiser and another person, and I use their NID number, and that's how I make my offers, okay? Now, that's the only thing you can't get over. But again, remember, there's lots of agents on the HUD website. You just have to look at the market you're in and contact them and do business with them. or if you are an agent, bring in somebody that you want to do business with and let them make the offers, get the under contract in your name, and then you earn the commission when they close. That's one of the things that's really cool is as an NID agent, heck, if you're working with somebody that can make the offers, you earn your commission and you earn the money on the deal. That's when I showed you the deals that Donna Davis did. She's an agent in Florida. So not only did she make the profit on the deal, she made the commission on closing on the HUD deal. So it's a win-win-win for the right person that gets in there and gets it done. Let me keep going through. How do you get your earnest money back? Talked about that. Okay, I'm in. This work, but Connie, come on, girl. I'm telling you, it is absolutely the best way to get started and turn around. And we're going to do this week by week. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to be successful with this, all the way to getting that puppy sold and going to closing. Okay? Just a repeat, you want to go to HUDHomeprofits.com. You can do a one pay for $9.97. Get immediate access to the website. We'll get you set up with Investor Comps Online and know your ARV. Or if you need to, you can do a two payments of $5.97. $5.97 now, and then another $5.97 a little bit later. Okay? All right. By double close, are you saying you use the second closing to fund the first? Absolutely. Thanks for my answer. I'm interested. Get ready. Okay, great. Hey, I can't thank you enough. Come on and jump in there, Emily. We got a lot of good stuff we're going to do. We're going to have a ball. I thought you couldn't do that any longer. This is great. Yes, you can double close all day long. I think that was a question. Are we using the M Buyers funds? Absolutely. I'm telling you, this is the bomb, folks. When I started learning how to do this and realized there were no deed restrictions, they should have never let me know that, because I've had a ball doing it myself. In addition to that, we've had a great time showing other folks how to do it as well, and we've got it perfected now. Absolutely positively perfected. What is insured escrow versus uninsured escrow? That basically means there's no repair money on the property. Very, very simple. I'm confused. You say you close with your own title company, but also HUD company. Yeah, so HUD is going to require you to use their title company to close, okay? And then you're going to have your own title company that's going to close your B2C. Your buyer is going to go there, wire their funds ahead of time, and then that funds are going to be there available to use to close the first, because you're going to sell it for more than what you bought it for. Very, very simple. We'll go over that plenty of times in the training. North Carolina is an attorney state. Know of anyone doing this here? Without a doubt, what happened, Michael Matthews, I believe it is. We will help you identify a closing attorney there. I've got a great list, great contact of plenty of closing attorneys that we can engage with and be able to use your title company to close before you get to HUD for doing your B2C. Can you close with buyer-owned title company before closing seller HUD? Yes, you close with your B2C, and then that morning or that afternoon, you close with HUD. Okay, I had to step away. You say you would help us find title company that would double close? Absolutely. I will help you find a title company. Mark, membership purchase tonight. How soon can we get started? We're going to do this all together. There's some basic preliminary information already set up in HUD Deal Training. But in a week, we're going to sit down all together and we're going to walk through the system. Now, as we get yourself Investor Comps Online and you have the support desk, you can go ahead and start asking questions. I'm not going to hold anybody back, okay? But we're going to do the full one-on-one together, walking through developing a system on how to make these offers. So, yes, you get started right away. And as eager and as hungry as you are, Norman, I'll be right there to help you start making some money, getting the pieces together. All right. Hi, I've been bidding on HUD homes for the last 60 days. I received 3 accepted bids only on properties that were in Macon, Georgia. I've been placing approximately 30 bids a day. Why are properties in Atlanta selling above the list price mostly? I am a realtor and use Fusion in pulling comps. I've also pulled a lot of HUD. It really depends on the market area that you're looking at, okay? And let me say this too. Any business model, and I'm just gonna be candid, you can find a reason why it's not working, okay? I live in Atlanta. I do deals in Florida, St. Louis, Riverside County, California, New Jersey, helping students do deals in Ohio. Alaska, for goodness sake, upstate Washington. And we help each and every one of them identify deals, even when, the properties are changing every day. Literally, you're in a situation where when those things get to investor, not the owner occupant, when they get to investor, trust me, they've already been discounted. And for some reason, potentially they've been overlooked. And that's your opportunity to take advantage of it. So literally, this system works, and it works very, very, very well. Is it work? Do you have to do some things? Absolutely. Okay. But it can be very, very successful for you. Okay. Do you have any students in Atlanta already who do this? Absolutely. We sure do. Offering every day on a property, still they're gone. Then, Gary, all we want to do is look at your market area. We'll do that during the training. We'll get in. Go ahead, sign up, and immediately let's start looking at where you're submitting offers at, where you're doing your deals, and I can help you overcome this. So that is it. That's all the questions, folks. Again, this is HUD Deal Training like you've never seen it before. There's other ways to do this, but I can assure you when you're putting together doing HUD and combine that with the power of Investor Comps Online and the valuation and looking and seeing, identifying buyers and seeing the transaction and taking the market area, you can't help but be successful. I'm going to hold your hand, walk you through this step by step by step. Go ahead, sign up, HUDHomeProfits.com. You can do a one pay of $9.97 or a two pay of $5.97. You pay $5.97 now and $5.97 later. You're going to get access to everything I promised you. And I'm telling you, I'm not some big conglomerate. I'm a guy that absolutely loves being an appraiser. I love doing valuation. I've done HUD homes starting back in 2004, and I'm doing them now using the HUD home store. And this works. Those are HUDs that you can see. I mean, these are transactions that are taking place. Again, this is not something that happened. This is in December, okay? This is a transaction that went under contract and closed in January, okay? Sean just finished doing a deal. He closed them just early February, and we've got properties under contract now. So without a doubt, no reason for you to ever have any reservations that you can do this and in any market area, okay? If you're actually identifying right in your county, I'm just going to say it. If there's not a lot of deals there or you're not seeing any, then that's not where you want to do business. Go where there are properties, okay? So everybody, I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate the opportunity to share and care with you. There's so much that we can do on how to be successful doing these HUD deals. I'm sorry. Let me get a drink. I'm dry. Hold on. Let me bring back in Elton and Sweeney. Elton, if someone had any reservations, concerns about being able to do this, what would you share? I mean, I'm just gonna put out there candidly. And I'll come back to Sweeney. If when someone asks a question, they're just saying, how am I going to be able to do this? What would you say?
Well, what probably little you know me, Mark. I'm probably one of the biggest skeptical persons out there, and of all the trainings that I've ever seen and looked over and been a part of, this day in town by far, I would have no reservations to jump in it again. It is by far and then you have a host here, a teacher that really cares about your success and goes the extra mile. And you shouldn't have no reservations about this at all. I mean, one deal will get more than your money back on it. It is something that I don't regret at all.
It's funny you said about being skeptical. I think your wife kind of put the. Then we were doing one, and she said something. I can't remember what it was.
I just want to jump in and say that.
Okay, go ahead.
Training made it so easy for me to close when I didn't think I could close. They said that you couldn't close on any deals in Oklahoma on double closings, and with the ability to use the deal training and not have gotten the house under contract and inside of the closing period be able to double close and get a profit, you can't hesitate on that. And I've been able to duplicate it.
There you go.
That's the best part.
Well, there you go. And so, Sweeney, I mean, it just eliminates the fear, essentially. And with Yelton, I think that Elton, there was one part there that you had one under contract, and you had a little reservation about moving on it.
I'd like to say something too, MJ.
Yeah.
That, on the spreadsheet, it just makes it so easy. You can feel confident about the bids that you put in. You really can't overbid. You can't really make a mistake on it, and it's just that comfort knowing that it's there to help you.
There you go. Outstanding. Thank you, Elton. Thank you, Sweeney. I appreciate you guys. So listen, this has been an absolute treat. I can't thank you enough for the opportunity to serve. There is so much value, such just a treat I get out of being in a situation to care and share with everybody. Literally taking these methods that are just transparent. They're just clear that you can go out and be successful doing real estate and do it in a way that you don't have to worry about your earnest money. You don't have to worry about having a lot of money to buy a property and close, okay? You can go in and do a deal and find a buyer and immediately sell that house for less than what HUD had it listed for. My name is Mark Jackson. You can call me MJ, and I just can't thank you enough for the opportunity to share and care. Go ahead, jump in. HUDHomeprofits.com is the website. Get signed up. It's $9.97 on one pay or two pay, $5.97 now. Well, pardon me, you pay $5.97 now and $5.97 later, and we get you everything. Sign up with Investor Confidence Online so you can pull the values. You can have Know Your ARV, which is a lifetime membership, as well as HUD Deal Training. As we make updates and improvements to the site, you will always and forever have access to HUD Deal Training. You'll have your perfect purchase and sale agreement that allows you to position yourself to know that you can double close. Your offer letter, we'll even give you extra phone script and a buyer script to really help you be successful when you're doing your deal. So, folks, go ahead, pull the trigger. I look forward